Right now.
Let's get it.
You already know. Let's go, baby. We live, you dig? Welcome to your boys, Rise and Rise Academy, man. It's your boy Kobe Rise and Rise. You dig? We got my man Showtime in the building.
Showtime.
Let's get it. Let's get it, big dog. Shit. I know we was talking about with the New Year's and everything, and I think that's a really good topic. Especially for the new year, man, and when it comes to health, wealth, everything. You dig? But so yeah, man. So pretty much my holidays, it was really good, man. I worked, you know what I'm saying? So I was getting money. This is my first time
Sir.
actually working during New Year's, but you dig, it was all good. Everything kind of happens for a reason with it. But yeah, that's what I was doing, man. I feel relaxed. It was a real relaxed New Year's.
I was about to say, man, I was on the same thing, man. Just kind of keeping everything consistent. We brought in the year with that whole with the start now 2023. And I had so much momentum. I was fortunate enough to be able to spend some time with family and kind of chill out for a second. Get to spend some time with family. We was able to eat really good. But other than that, like you said, man, I kind of was just how the chips fell for me where I had to work, and fortunate to be able to, I think I spoke about it too. So just being able to spend that time with a less fortunate young man. So definitely get to the grind. But
Excuse me.
but yeah, so
That's dope, man.
yeah, leading right up into yeah, the new year just kind of kept that same momentum, and like you mentioned, just some of those goals, still striving towards some of those goals. Everything feels real good to have that momentum. But I know me and you spoke about just kind of sharing some of those things. I was letting you know earlier, man. Just this, with the new year starting, now we here. We getting into the year. We in it. You know, a lot of people will have trouble just setting some goals or finding some good goals. They
Hmm.
get the gym membership or they get that trainer, but now they don't know the next step. That first stage, they in that pre-contemplation stage. If you know anything about the stages of change, so we
Hmm.
kind of spoke about just kind of assisting when it comes to maybe putting together a plan. And what was your thoughts on that when putting together like a plan? Um, it's a new year. What's some good tips or something? What was your thoughts on the
Yeah.
way?
I think, like you said, when it comes to goal setting and getting that plan, like you said, that pre-contemplation stage is finding out that why, where you at now. You know what I'm saying? And actually getting that out, understanding what you're doing it for, right? And is it something what's your goal? Is it a long-term goal? Is it a short-term goal? You know what I'm saying? It's really the determining factor, you dig, on how we're gonna do it. So if you're contemplating, like, I mean, I'll use this common sense to try to break it down a little bit. So if you're gonna use, if you're contemplating going to the gym and working out, all right, cool. What's the purpose behind it? You know what I'm saying? And then find out how to attach something of substance to that why. You dig? So if you, because if you attaching everything to an emotion, the time you don't feel like going to the gym, you already lost. You already lost. And we see it all the time. Everybody who starts this new year, new me, they get into the gym. As soon as they don't feel like as soon as they don't feel like going, they don't. And we see it because gym membership prices, well, not prices, but gym membership inventory goes up because they know people are gonna be buying a lot more stuff like pre-workout, protein powders. They don't even know why they buying it. They just buying it because they see everybody else do it. You dig? But like I said, they don't have a reason why. They just doing it because they think they need to do it. So they don't really have a anything substance of why they're going to the gym in the first place. You know what I'm saying? Certain people can't, once they have that emotion attached to it, you could be going through some stress at home to where you think, oh man, I gotta skip the gym, I gotta do this. But they ain't thinking about the later part of it. You're not even planning for days like that. For days like, oh man, sick day, whatever. You ain't even thinking about that. You dig? So I think it's having a real thought out agenda. I think it's all a thought out agenda because I mean, if your mind, not mine, but if your goals and tasks are so big to where you can't even fathom, it's hard to it's hard to complete that. It's thinking about like cleaning your room. Thinking about cleaning your room, it's a big task. You don't feel like you want to do it. But I remember 19 Keys said something like you do one step at a time. You do one thing at a time. You dig what I'm saying? So if your goal is that big, we'll start small. You know, you might not even go to the gym. Start small. Go to the gym. That's number one. Go to the gym, walk for like, 15 minutes, whatever like that. Just that's a task. You completed it. You're done. Next time you come in it, all right, but let me hit the weights for 10 minutes. Just concentrate on that for 10 minutes. Just do your squats, your deadlift, your bench press. Do that for 10 minutes. Just do one thing, like I said, one thing at a time and just keep it consistent. You dig? That alone is gonna give you a sense of accomplishment. So now you're accomplishing something. At this point, you can now tie in what I'm doing is giving a purpose. Because once we complete a task, we all have a purpose that's now being fulfilled. You dig? So that's why it's easy for someone to start small. I remember we talked about that, within the last year, we talked about goal setting. Smart, like do a small task, complete it, and feel good about it. Celebrate those wins. Like, you know what? I ain't really go to the gym like that, but I did 10 whole minutes. I did 15 minutes today. I feel good about that. And that gives you that sense of encouragement. That gives you that sense of, just that understanding that I can do something. And now you have the motivation, even on the days where you don't feel like it. You know what? I can still go. I can still do that. And now you're in a better mindset to where if you do have days where you don't feel like it, it's a lot easier for you to say, man, I try my best to get into the gym, but I know I'm about to get it in double time tomorrow just because that mindset was already there that you've been accomplishing tasks. Let's just say you've been doing one task per day for the past 3 weeks. It's a lot easier for you now to where if you get that one day off, you're like, you know what? Now my day's a little bit thrown off. Now I'm about to get it in double time the next day, even if I miss this one, because you've been accomplishing, you've been feeling good, you've been checking off your task. Excuse me, you've been checking off everything as you've been going along the 3 weeks. And what most people don't know, you do something for 21 days consistently, you already into that change mindset. You already into that developing a habit lifestyle when you do it for 21 days straight. So that's already embedded in you, which is why I say if you start small, just start by completing a task. Start by just going to the gym. You did. Start by tapping in with your boys at Rise and Rise. We'll get you there. You did. We've been doing this for a minute. So, we kind of understand what people go through. Like, I mean, some people, they just go through stuff just to go through it. And sometimes they just need to talk through, and that's a lot of times they just need that motivation for somebody else, because they don't have it themselves. You dig? So, I think getting around the right people, getting around the right mindsets, you dig what I'm saying? I think that's a really good goal to even have in the first place. Starting a new year, you've been around the same people, you're going to have the same outcomes more than likely. I know you heard the saying, if you hang around, 9 billionaires, more than likely you'll be the 10th. You know what I'm saying? But it works on the positive side, but it also does the negative. You hang around nine unhealthy people who are very toxic in their lifestyle, you'll be the 10th one doing the same thing. You dig? And that's a little bit of epigenetics with that when it comes to your environment and how we take on what we do and how we do is the people that we hang around. That's why it's good to get around sharp minds. I know everybody heard iron sharpens iron. Well, it's a truth to that because you're around the sharp-minded people. It makes you want to be that. It makes you want to be better. I think everybody, well, I ain't gonna say everybody, let me not say that, but I know people in my group, man, we always striving to be the best. We seeing like who doing what. Okay, let me tap in, let me pick his brain. Let me see what he know. You know what I'm saying? And it's not no more so just like competition, but it's more so like, sure, we trying to get on our grind together. You dig what I'm saying? We all about helping. I'm proud of everybody who I know that's actually doing some good stuff. You dig what I'm saying? And that everybody's doing something different. I always learn something. Even with like Jabbar, like, bro, you do like what is it? What's the run that's coming up in April?
Yeah. What's coming up in April? You hear me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
What's
that
coming up in
Spartan
April?
race stuff, man.
Yeah,
Like
it's
I couldn't see myself doing a Spartan race, dog. But see, that gives me a challenge now to say, well, you know what? I got a different way to train. You dig? And so just having just different people around like that, it just kind of give you a different level to say, you know what, I can get there. I see Showtime doing his pull-ups with the flag, doing his weights. I'm like, dang, I'm about to get my core game up. You dig? I'm about to get all that. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm trying to get like him. You feel me? He doing good things out here. You know what I'm saying? Because you see people thriving. You dig? And that gives me a sense of purpose to say, well, you know what? I'm about to get on my grind too. You dig what I'm saying? And that's really what, it kind of goes into that whole creating a healthy habit, that goes into creating a healthy plan, that goes into this whole, to me, New Year, New Me is really that whole shift and mindset, detoxing yourself from old situations, getting rid of the old situations, developing new habits, developing consistent habits that's going to aid you into what you want to get to and where you want to go in this whole New Year, New Me. If that's your thing, cool, right? But I think it's about creating that healthy habit, starting by completing those tasks. You dig? And that's pretty much that's my take on it. As far as a summary, I know we can go deep, but you did. That's my take on it.
Definitely.
Right, definitely, man.
Yeah, man. So yeah, I want to introduce my man Jabari, man. Welcome to the show. Welcome to
Thank
the show,
you.
man. How was your New Year's,
Good
baby?
day. Man, I wish it could have been great. It was cool, but as you know, I was unfortunately under the weather. Just something that's been going around. I mean, down here, I'm down in
Yes.
Charleston. Uh, we had wild change in temperatures. It messed everybody up. So I
Yeah.
unfortunately was under the weather. I was going to step out, but unfortunately, that didn't happen. So I was like, all right, listen to my body, let me rest and such. I'm still, getting back to full strength. So haven't hit the gym much, but just did some workouts at home just to, get calibrated, yeah,
In a real
because,
way.
before you know it, for myself, March comes around. That's my first race coming up in Atlanta. That
Oh
beats
yeah.
13 miles, 30 obstacles.
God. Oh.
It's
Woo.
gonna be tough, man. It's gonna be tough. So I already been training, but once it clear out of the sickness and get back into it, it's gonna be on cracking. So
You know what, man? You said some good points, man. Like I really want to ask you, man, because think about it. I don't think you train like the average person, right? I mean, when you say running 13 miles, you doing Spartan races. I mean, you know how I remember I went to the last one, bro. It was cold. People outside with no shirt on. They
yeah,
in the mud, climbing stuff. They climbing these big towers. They jumping down. They doing monkey swings, and bro, it's a lot of stuff, right? So I don't think the average person. Now everybody I saw was in shape out there, right? So I
yeah,
don't think that's just the average thing.
right.
So there's gonna be days I know you don't feel like working out. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? We all go through, life happens. In those moments, right, where you like, you know what? Something, I ain't going to the gym, man, but you still have something to get to. You can't stop training. What do you do when you feel like that? And what mindset do you put yourself in to get back on the grind, coming back from life, right? Because everybody goes through it. So what is your take on what you do to get back on
Well,
track?
I always go back to always think about what is my why. Specifically for this year in regards to that brand of racing, and definitely get my trifecta officially, and how much it means to me of the amount of dedication, hard work to put in. Um, at times in my day job, I drive, for a shredded company, going to various businesses, which drive a lot of miles, walking a lot, averaging close by 3 to 4 miles per day walking. And there have been days in which that, after work, it's like, man, I don't want to, feel like training, but I just go back to our why, the reason why I do it, and just go, all right, let me do a little bit of this. Let me get back into the groove. You know, get my playlist going, get my mind right, and just always remember that. And even just recently, these past couple of days, didn't go to the gym. It felt like doing nothing, but it's like if something was telling me I have to move, I have to get going. So I picked up some exercises, or read some stuff on some lifting, that that benefits runners. And it's okay. Let me do a little bit of this at home. All right, let me do a little bit more with the kettlebell. Some other exercises, some banded stuff just to get moving, to get going. So even times I just don't feel like it, I figure out what I go back to what that why is, and just get moving and get going, and then before you know it, be like then was going sometimes was going to go for 5 minutes, then it turns into 10, and that 10 will turn into 20, then that 20 turns into 30. So
that motivation kicked in.
Yeah, definitely, and, uh, and just that with that, it's just going back to that, just going back to that, just why, and just remembering those experiences that I had with those races, how I felt through the ups and downs, because there's gonna be a lot of those battles, especially in obstacle course racing. It's not there's a lot of valleys, there's a lot of dips and valleys in there, and just just going back into that and just getting back that grit. And one other little thing I want to add, there was this podcast I recently listened to, which this guy talked about becoming one with the darkness. And what he was explaining was that there'd be times you be training, and regardless if it's for like a specific event or so specific goal, in my case, a specific set of events, and there'd be times in which you just don't feel like it, and sometimes you just gotta go in there and just get after it, even when it's not as ideal. Running in the cold, running in the rain, training, in
doing
adverse,
stuff you don't want to do, put you in that uncomfortable state of mind.
Exactly.
Doing it anyway.
Embrace being comfortable, being uncomfortable, and and as spoken, and just going into that, and see what made up.
I like that, man, for real. What you think about that? So, what's your take on that?
Oh yeah, definitely. Man, I love it. And he mentioned quite a few. Well, he mentioned two things that we speak about a lot. And I love it. He talked about just how just defining his why, knowing his why, kept driving him. And also I caught the illness, the bug was trying to attack him. That just kind of reminded me, this being the beginning of the year, just kind of thinking about his journey and some of the things that we had spoke about, just confirmation that this stuff really works. He spoke about the bug trying to attack his immune system, and just, just knowing how, just feeling how, man, I got to do something. I got to keep moving. I got to get the bands. I got to do something that pertains to, running. I got to do something, and we speak about that too. We did a show speaking about some of those same things about, how when we had some things attacking us, attacking our immune system, how we knew what we were doing, what we were doing it for, and we were just kind of motivated, just kind of fight some of that stuff, so we kept moving, so definitely, man, I love it, and I love the everything, the 3, how many miles, man, I love it,
Shoot, the first one coming up in March, 13, they say 13 miles was like about 13-ish to 14. The one coming up in April, bit of a lot more of a lighter one, about 4-ish miles, and one of my last ones, cap off the year, be about 6 or 7 miles. But just as as I've been doing those events and running, it's just all about each step you're making more hay. You get more closer. You keep striving, keep going, and keep pushing, and really really test to see what what you're really made of. And also to piggyback a little bit back to that, those catchphrases, new year, new me. No, there's my rebuttal to that is simple as this: get to the grind and mash in day out.
Consistency.
Keep building. Yeah, right.
Keep it consistent.
I'm not gonna knock those people, feeling that way, but I had just a different take. It's just because how many times we've seen resolutions fall to the wayside.
Oh yeah, no, that's we talk about it, man, because it happens more often than not. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna sit up here and act like like it don't happen. Like we know it happens. You dig? Like shoot, it don't have to be a new year, new me. They can say they're gonna go to the gym just for the summertime, and we know that thing failed before they even start.
What that's said
You know
earlier.
Yeah. So, but it happens. You know what I'm saying? But I think, I think that's just from a lack of planning. It's a lack from having that strong reason for what you're doing it for. Because if that reason isn't strong enough, then that means anything can throw you off track. It can rain outside, and that's enough for you not to go. That means your purpose for going to the gym wasn't that strong in the first place. Who said some rain gonna stop you, bro? It's just like you said. When you run 13 miles, you can't stop. You just keep going, one step at a time, one step at a time. All right, rain don't stop us from going to work.
Right.
We get in our car, we get an umbrella. You still got to get paid, but you know why you going to work. You go when you don't feel like it. Why? Because they're paying your bills. You know what I'm saying? You got to live, right?
Right.
And I think this is a really good topic to have when it comes to creating health plans, right? You have your financial plan, but think about it. If you're not healthy, you can't go to work in the first place. So you'll actually be taken away from your fact that if you don't plan or prioritize your health, you won't even have the finances to do it anyway, because you won't be here to get the money. You won't be here to be able to create that opportunity in the first place, because people slack off in the health department. They just think, oh, I'm just here, doing whatever, I'm good to go. But it's like sometimes you don't think about when you actually really hurt or you really sick. The only thing you thinking about is getting better. You ain't thinking about that job. You thinking about if you was in a hospital bed, you wouldn't be thinking about nothing else but y'all help me. Fix it. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing else. You know what I'm saying? We really gotta prioritize our health for real, because just to give y'all some stats, from a black man perspective, our number one cause of death as black men is heart disease. You know what I'm saying? We have to really take care of our bodies, you know what I'm saying? And number two is cancer. You dig? And I think that's something that, we should really look at when it comes to creating a health plan. Okay. If we know the number one killer is this, especially as black men, then what can we do to kind of help do something to combat that? You know what I'm saying? And I know Showtime, you already know, because you know what I'm saying, you elevated past that, you know what I'm saying? So I already know you on the grind nonstop. You dig what I'm saying? And so like one thing that I kind of looked at was just to give some background. Like 70% of us African Americans, we vitamin D deficient. We don't even get enough sunlight. You dig? And just having a lack of sunlight, you're already at higher risk for cancer and cardiovascular disease, which is the top two killers of black men in the first place. You dig what I'm saying? So just by going outside, getting some sunlight, you're already saving your life a little bit. Those things are creating health plans. Things like this is literally creating a health plan for our generation. Because if we're going to be lacking, deficient in something, we're now passing that same priority to our next generation. Because if they don't see us doing this, they don't feel like they got to do that. We have to set the standard. And I think this is one thing that's important, because I want to make sure we set a standard of creating the real generation, the real generational health, which is our health. They say generational wealth. I say generational health. You dig what I'm saying? I want to make sure we setting the bar when it comes to this. We all sit in the house. Nobody go outside. Like you hear a lot of times people say, man, it's too hot outside. You know what I'm saying? Nah, that sun, we need that. You need sweat. You need to detox everything that you've been, you know what I'm saying, getting out. Remember our Showtime where we talked about sweating it out? Why is it important that we feel better? Because we sweating them toxins out. Yeah, we need to go outside and sweat it out, because it's literally saving our life. We are now increasing our own health by doing so. And now we have a culture where they make a decision and say, oh, it's too hot, I'm not going to do nothing. Now you're taking your health away, because that's what you see the majority do. Nah, reverse that. No, go outside and get some help. Go outside and get that sunlight. You did. Go ahead and get a good sweat.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's important because, again, this is what we talk about when we say creating a health plan, prioritizing these tasks. It could be something as small as that. You saving yourself already the percentages. You
Yes,
did,
sir.
and
Mm-hmm.
that's just something that I wanted to bring attention to because I don't think people understand that or even know about that to begin with.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
it's the key things.
Yeah,
Definitely. I was gonna add in a part of that plan, man. Just being mindful of some of the things that you eat. You know, maybe with the new
True.
year, challenge
yes,
yourself to maybe set a new trend. You know, I think we all can agree there's probably something that we could maybe do a little less of. You know, that may not be the best for us health wise,
come
but
on,
we treated ourselves
Mm-hmm.
for it. You know, with that whole new year. I know my man said, he's not a fan of it, but I say, whatever you can convince yourself, if you convince yourself, get in that mindset that it's new to you, but then how about that, challenge yourself to some new things on your health plan, part
that's a
of
fact.
putting that health plan together, challenge yourself with some new foods. I know my
That's a
brother
fact.
said, my brother Kobe mentioned those two things for an African American. From my perspective, I know me being one that actually experienced cardiac arrest. So dealing with some cardiac issues, I could tell you for me eating, trying to do that plant based, trying to just stick with some primarily plant based whole
Talk to him.
foods, some whole
Mm-hmm.
foods, some good natural fruits and veggies.
Come on.
That for me is one of the things that I incorporated for me health wise. And then with this being a new year, me and my wife are going to challenge ourselves to take it a step further. So that's something you definitely could put on your health plan. Make sure you got that on your health plan.
Perfect.
Oh,
You
Sure.
know what? That's a perfect segue, man. What was you gonna add to that, Jabbar?
I was gonna say definitely, and in regards to foods, definitely, eating nutritious as possible, and definitely in regards to foods, when you do shopping, and stuff like that, like really take a glance and really like look at the stuff that you're buying
Look at them
and even
ingredients.
look at the ingredients and look at the back
Look at the back of that package.
and
Yep.
think to
Look at them
yourself, be
labels.
like, wait, what are these things? Or it benefit me? Let me do some more research. And and in many cases, you do that. Most of the times you're gonna find a lot of stuff that's not healthy for you at all. And you're like, I'm putting this and it's not fueling it. It's like you gotta put the right, you know, fuel in your car, running efficiently. So definitely like subtly and steadily just add like just do those healthy substitutes and crave something sweet, eat some fruits of your choice, or switch to some nuts, and like a couple examples. So it's just those subtle things. Mhm. Yeah,
Well,
like
just to
that.
let y'all know, I actually did a little bit of that, dog. So one thing we did at Rise and Rise Academy, we have a brand new food pyramid. Let's go. The Rise and Rise Academy
Ooh.
food pyramid, dog. We have now changed the dynamic of health. We have now changed the way we digest food and what we see because the regular food pyramid just does some terrible things, right? We see some faults in it, right? So I'm gonna just give you a little Rise and Rise Academy food pyramid. The biggest section at the bottom is, of course, the alkaline veggies and grains. You dig? The next one is exactly what Showtime said. Get your fruits and get your herbs. Whole foods, baby. You dig what I'm saying? Whole foods, whole snacks. You dig? And the rest of it at the top, which is the smallest portion. And this goes back to what I say. Mostly plant-based diet should be what it is. Everything else is a small additive. 80%, that's going to be your whole foods. The rest of it is just additive. You dig? Moderation is what we talk about. Have more of something that's going to benefit you, have little of something that's not. You need to counterbalance exactly what we take in. So when we change in our lifestyle, we change what we eat. Now, what we doing is that literally reversing what we just said. When you taking in a lot of that bad stuff, when you comes to starting a new health, creating a new health plan, well, that's what it takes. Digest more something that's going to benefit you. And I don't think we've been and I don't think we've properly been educated on the type of food that we need to eat. And I think that everybody should be educated on what they need to eat for themselves. So I know, like you said, Showtime, he already did his. He found plant-based was mostly his thing. I did the same thing. Mostly plant-based was my thing. I've benefited from it. You did. So this is the Rise and Rise Academy food pyramid for plant-based people that want to go towards plant-based. This is where we've seen the most benefit from. You did. So I think this will be a good topic. I'm going to continue to share this food pyramid for sure. You dig what I'm saying? But I know we run out of time. I know we got to get up out of here. You dig? So I wanted to make sure I shared this food pyramid because this is going to be our new start now 2023. The hashtag is here from Showtime. We got the new food pyramid, the Rise and Rise Academy food pyramid. You dig what I'm saying? So we're coming at y'all full-fledged, changing the narrative, creating our own narrative, using what we say to get out of what we can for the people. Instead of this whole new year, new me, no, we're just going to start now. Just start now. Whatever it is, just start now. It could be 2 years. Start now. Just start right now. It don't matter. It don't even matter. So everybody, instead of saying this new year, new me, like Showtime said, nah, use it to fuel, turn it into something else. Start now. I don't care what nobody say, what you're feeling. I don't care what you got going on. Just start now. And like my man said, man, Jabari was talking about taking one step at a time. When you start now, you take one step at a time. And that's how you do that thing. You dig what I'm saying? Let's go, man. Let's go. Showtime, any last words, man, before we get up out of here, dog?
No, man. I definitely wanted to just highlight. You had mentioned, well, again, man, just one step at a time, man. One step at a time. Commit to one thing. If you need help with that goal, man, remember, start one step at a time. Commit to those health goals. Let's go ahead and take it easy on ourselves. We won't make all those changes, not all of at once. All right, let's say the first one. Remember, I told y'all the story about how when I wanted to commit to gaining a little bit more weight, I started with a banana a week, well, a banana a day, just incorporating that extra banana, that small difference. So remember that. And also you said two things, consistent. That's one of the things I remember, so I could just highlight on my way out. Consistency. Build that consistency. Kobe spoke about that momentum. Knowing that if you go in there, build that consistency. It's the new year. I see a lot of you there. Don't fall off. Keep that momentum. Whether it be the gym, whatever your health goals are. You started them. Keep it going. We speak primarily about health, so I'm gonna go in about So keep that momentum. You'll see that progress. Keep that consistency.
Come on. I love it, man. I love it. That was perfect. Hey, one step at a time, y'all. Start now. Start now 2023. One step at a time. We got you on the food pyramid. We all here. You dig what I'm saying? And so we're going to kick it. This is our first episode of the new year, man. Let's clap it up, boy. Let's go. Rise.
Yeah.
Get it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. Jabari, I appreciate you stopping in, big dog.
Thank you.
We're going to have plenty more episodes down the line, man. You're more than welcome to just slide up in. You dig what I'm saying? And we're going to kick some good knowledge, man, for sure.
Well, hey, thank you. I appreciate the hospitality. Sorry if I was a little bit nervous, but
you good, man. Yeah, man, you good to go, man. This the internet, dog. This is how we create this thing. You feel me? So ain't nothing to be nervous about, big dog. We got you.
Yo.
Hey, so you already know. I know you've been watching the show, so you already know how the exit goes. You feel me? So I'm gonna have me and you go do the same thing. I always say, when we face with an obstacle, what we do, Showtime always say we rise and rise. You did. So I'm gonna have you say we rise and rise. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Listen, y'all. When we face with an obstacle, what we do?
We rise and rise,
baby.
Go, baby. Hey, man, welcome to the new year. I appreciate everybody pulling up, man. Let's go.
Ciao.